Well, I'm trusting that you are well. My name is Simon Irungu. This is the big question here at Professor Herman Manyora. The website is at Nairobi Review. And we're always here to update you on the political things that are happening here in the country. The country is Kenya. Always here to help us tackle these big questions is Professor Herman Manyora. How are you doing, sir?
Wonderful.
You
wonderful.
good?
Wonderful. Festive season is here.
Festive season is here. It's here. It's been a very busy year. The election came, the election went.
Yes.
And let's jump into today's conversation.
Correct.
Some of the conversations to end the year. And you did an episode talking about Atwoli, and the show was secrets behind Atwoli's support for William Ruto. And there was a very interesting comment from someone by the name Nick Klaus. And Nick Klaus said, Atwoli doesn't realize how Ruto despises him, and should Ruto will not tell him, but Ruto only rewards true loyalty, not fake loyalty. He will use him though.
But that's how politics works.
That's a very tough comment, Prof, from Niklaus, Prof. What do you think about this statement?
Niklaus should know that that's how politics works across the world.
Okay.
People are not in politics because they love each other. Mm-hmm. No. People don't relate in politics because they love. No.
But what he said...
And that's why they say there are no permanent friends, no permanent enemies in politics. Mm-hmm. It's a game of interest. I mean, whoever serves your purpose is the one you deal with. If Atwoli serves the purpose for which Ruto is happy, then Ruto will be happy with him.
Okay.
And if Niklaus says Ruto hates Atwoli, who tells him Atwoli may also not hate Ruto? Politics is a game of convenience.
It's not a love game.
No, it's not a love game. There's nothing he has said.
And then this finishing statement, he will use him. So do you think Atwoli is someone... Atwoli will be used by William Ruto?
You can never be sure who is using who in politics.
Atwoli, he's your friend, Prof. I don't know how close you
I was somewhere.
But do you think Atwoli can be used?
Let me use this bad example. But I was somewhere. And I was with a man older than me. Mm-hmm. He was with a girl about 24 years old. 24, 25 years old. Mm-hmm. Actually working for him, but they're having an affair. Okay. So the aunt to this girl told me, I'm not liking this. How is this old man using this young girl like this? I told her, you could be wrong. It could be how he's using this old man. After some time, she realized that this girl stays in Dome, where perhaps Manyora may not afford to speak.
It's very expensive residence.
And she's already on her master's degree. So the aunt began to, I think Manyora, you are at a point. Who is using who here? It's not easy. You may think Atwoli and then Ruto is using Atwoli, but Atwoli could be the one using Ruto. That's how politics works. It is at the end game. Does Atwoli have some end in sight? Is it being achieved by him dealing with Ruto? Yes, tick. He has used Ruto to his ends. Does the Atwoli coming on board serve Ruto's interests? Yes, tick. Ruto is using Atwoli. Na maisha inaendelea. It's not about love.
Now that comments bring us to the conversation for today. Now with the big names in AZIMIO, Prof, exiting, someone like Atwoli, we know he was a big person. He was someone who played a major role in the AZIMIO campaign, Prof, and some few other people who have left AZIMIO. Now people are asking, is AZIMIO over? Is it over? Is it just a name?
AZIMIO could be over, but you see the politics of this country. Mm-hmm. Uhuru was Jubilee. And the ones who left it, the Jubilee died.
Okay.
Ruto was URP and he took it to Jubilee and the URP died. And Raila is, AZIMIO was Raila. Not to, so long as Raila is around, you can choose to say ODM or AZIMIO is dead. But the truth is, so long as Raila is around, AZIMIO, the dream of AZIMIO is still alive. Because it's about people. No party in this country, no coalition, none of these things. We call political parties or coalitions or whatever we call them. None of them really are outside the grip of the individual. The individual is a party and the party is the individual. So you can only say AZIMIO is finished if Raila is finished. That's how I choose to see it.
Okay. But people say when you go back to the ages of kingdomship, you can't be a king without servants, and you can't be a strong king without trusted people around you, Prof. Yes. Don't you think that this is going to weaken Raila?
Certainly. And obviously, if you have people around you, strong people, and one of them leaves or two of them, you can't be the same. You suddenly become weaker.
Okay.
But that's not to say you are finished. You are all in the politics. Shrewd politicians like William Ruto, Raila Odinga, and all these tough politicians here and abroad and across the world are always reinventing themselves. They are always re-engineering the game. That's why weak ones, like the ones I don't want to mention, these are festive season. I don't want to mention some names. They are weak politicians because they never reinvent themselves. They want to rely on the goodwill of events and of people. But tough people like Ruto, Raila Odinga, they are always reinventing the game, re-engineering it. You know?
Is Mudavadi a tough person?
We don't want to go there. We don't want to mention names.
Okay.
We have just mentioned Ruto and Raila for the time being. Others we shall mention them
In January.
next year, in January and going beyond. Yes.
Okay, now, Prof, now,
We don't want people to have a bad Christmas.
what does the future hold for some of these political allies of the Azimio Brigade, Prof? Someone like Ali Hassan Joho, he's been so silent. Perhaps do we expect to see him collaborating or maybe working with William?
After such a monumental thing like the elections, and after elections have gone the way they have gone, those who have been very close in the game, they take time for soul searching, for reflection, and to decide on a number of things. You know, again, politics in this country is also tied to economics. So that Joe is not just a politician. Joe is a businessman. And you could be wondering, the new dispensation, given the role I was playing in Azimio, given who I am, given my relationship with Ruto, and now he's the president, how is my business? How is my financial empire? What are my future prospects in politics? So some people will choose to go quiet and watch. Others will jump with some people have already jumped to Ruto. Others will remain with Raila so firmly that you'll think they're even stupid. So this is the time to see all those kind of things. So Joho's way of doing things is one way, where there will be those who are so close to Azimio that will choose to keep quiet and watch and see where their fortunes may fall. So I choose to think Joho is one of those who are playing it safe.
But looking clearly at this election, it wasn't like previous elections for the people in Azimio, because the phrase of the last bullet, Prof, this was the last arrow that these people had towards the presidential seat, yes. Prof, and the bullet clearly didn't go as they were targeting. Isn't this something?
No, Raila said it was the last magazine, not bullet. A magazine holds several bullets, so he released only one. The magazine still has bullets.
Risasi imebaki moja. Now, Prof, yes. Then why isn't Azimio? You remember in previous years, the ODM team used to stick together, regardless of the outcome of the election. They used to stick together. Why isn't it the same this time? That's
around? Not true. It's not true that they all stuck together. The first Pentagon of 2007, come 2013, where was Balala? Where was Nyaga? Where was Mudavadi? Where was Ruto? Pentagon, Raila remained alone from the Pentagon. Where was Charity Ngilu? So it's not true. Raila remained alone in the Pentagon. There were 6. There had been 5 in the Pentagon. Then Ngilu joined them. Ngilu left, went with Uhuru. Ruto went with Uhuru. Balala went with Uhuru. Joe Nyaga went it alone. Ostrich, to stand for elections, I think. Ishara yake ikiwa ostrich. Mudavadi stood alone. 5 leaving Raila alone. So it's not true. That's why I tell you, in politics, a tough politician like Ruto, like Raila, they will always re-engineer the game. They will always reinvent themselves. So 2013, Raila had called. 2017, Mudavadi rejoined him. Ngilu rejoined them. You see? And they formed the NASA. I think it's something like that. NASA or 2017.
Yeah, NASA.
I don't know who rejoined them. Mudavadi rejoined them. I think Ngilu also rejoined them. I'm not very sure. No. Ngilu was still with Ruto. Something of that. No. Ngilu rejoined them and won governorship under NAC that was associating with NASA.
With support from Kalonzo.
Yeah, with Kalonzo who combined and made peace. In 2022, Azimio, Uhuru joined. So politicians who are what they are sold are always looking at the game and they're reinventing it, re-engineering it. and getting new partners and new friendships, new formations, so that they can forge ahead. And remember, for Raila, the one point that people miss about Raila is Raila is not head of a political party whose aim is the presidency. Raila is head of a movement that aims to make the country better, that has along the lines, through a lot of pain and struggle and sacrifices, made tremendous contribution, making Kenya the country it is today. So whereas many people may choose to see the success of a political party in becoming president, and to the extent that Raila has not become president, they will think he has failed. But Raila has been head of a movement that has brought a lot of gains to the country. And therefore, if you look at it that way, he can continue playing an important role. Even if he were to choose to tell you people in this country, I'm not going for the presidency, he will still contribute
to an election.
He will still contribute to making this country a better place.
Okay.
He doesn't have to go for the presidency. Doesn't mean he can't go for it. Why not? He can go for it.
Now, Prof, what you're saying, it's not been about the political party. It's always been about the person who is leading a movement.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's look at someone like Opiyo Wandayi. He's the leader of the minority, Prof, and he's not clearly coming out stronger. They're not looking at parliament. They're not as aggressive as previous years. Why is that?
The ecosystem, the political ecosystem, is very tough. First of all, the Raila defeat was unexpected. Nobody thought Raila would lose this election from their side.
So being on the minority was not expected.
It's like a shock.
Okay.
The people who talk about government seem to be on a revenge mission. And they have shown the appetite for bringing former opponents on board. People say buying them. I don't say that. They are making it very difficult to be on the opposition. Almost isolated. And something else which must be said. The politics of this country, as we speak, has been corrupted in a way a normal human being trying to run normal politics will get very disappointed and will not go far. The politics of this country, and I'm not saying somebody has done it, but the politics of this country has been so monetized that unless you can resource your activities in the politics, you can't go far. So that even the opposition in this country, even if they didn't defect to Ruto, the extent to which they will be effective is quite highly doubtful. Because you must resource it. The bar for finance, for money in our politics has been put so high that all these political players in the opposition
are not visible.
Are actually just helpless. So you cannot even blame Opiyo Wandayi. Because
is there much they can do as a move, as AZIMIO?
It's very, very little. It's very difficult.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying.
And is it that
leaving
dangerous?
the opposition leader with very little option than mass action? Because the leaders have all been so more or less demobilized. They have been demobilized.
Okay. And is it that dangerous, Prof? Because, you know, being leader of the minority, that's a key role.
Immobilized, not demobilized. Immobilized.
Immobilized.
Yes.
Being leader of the minority, that's a major role, Prof. You know, it needs.
But you are not effective because money has been splashed around.
Isn't it dangerous?
It is dangerous. What I'm saying is dangerous because finally the only way you can make a move in this country if you are Raila Odinga is to go to the people and put your case before the people because your leaders have been messed up, all of them. Yeah.
Now, to answer the big question for today, is AZIMIO the team that we knew, the campaign team that we were seeing, Prof? Is it over?
AZIMIO, the people and the arrangement and what AZIMIO and whatever is dead. Completely. But the idea behind AZIMIO, which is a carryover from BBI, and the handshake. The movement that Raila leads, lives, and is far from even being unwell, leave alone dead. It is still strong because the people of this country need to be delivered. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. That is Prof saying that the AZIMIO, the campaign team that we used to see, is dead. But the agendas of making this country great from the key members of the AZIMIO team still remains a priority to them. Well, till you have the next episode of The Big Question, enjoy the rest of your day.